Poetry Help. The Canonization, John Donne, 49. Summary of the poem. The poem begins with the speaker's command to the addressee to be quiet, and let the speaker love. The speaker says that he can criticize his other shortcomings, but he should not criticize his tendency to love. He tells the addressee to go about his business and look to his mind, wealth, and his official position. He further tells the addressee to go and serve the king like other nobles do. He is not bothered about what the addressee does. All that the speaker wants is to be left alone to love. In the following stanza there is a rhetorical question: who's injured by my love? The speaker says that the sighs of the lovers have not drowned ships, and his tears have not flooded the land. He says that his colds have not changed the spring season into cold, and heat in his veins has not increased the number of the people who die of plague. The speaker says that soldiers do their duty by going to wars and lawyers fight cases in the court, but he wants to be allowed to love. The speaker is ready to be called by any name they choose because he says that love has made them so. Call her one, me another fly is the line in the poem. According to the speaker, he and his beloved are like candles, and they die at their own cost. They burn by feeding upon their own selves. He says that the riddle of phoenix is there in their existence. They have two bodies but they are one. Like the phoenix they die and they rise from their ashes. The speaker asserts that their love kills them and resurrects them. According to the speaker, if they cannot live by their love, they can die by it, and if the story of their lives is not good enough for tombs and hearse, they will find their place in poetry. The lovers will find their place in love sonnets. According to the speaker, a well-wrought urn and a huge tomb do the same justice to a dead man. He says that he and his lover will be canonized by their love. They will be declared saints and they will attain sainthood of love. The lovers will invoke them, and countries, towns, and courts will beg the pattern of their love. Form of the poem. The poem The Canonization has 5 stanzas with lines following iambic trimeter to pentameter. There are 9 lines in each stanza. The first, third, fourth, and 7th lines follow pentameter, and the second, 5th, 6th, and 8th lines have tetrameter. And the last or the 9th line in each stanza has trimeter. The rhyme scheme is A, B, B, A, C, 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 D, D. Critical analysis. From the very first line of the poem, it becomes clear that the speaker is speaking the lines to a person who does not approve of the speaker's love. The tone of the poem is highly sardonic. The speaker talks about the things which charm other people who are involved in their own business, but he is caught up in love. According to the speaker, he knows that his love affair will not be permitted, but he knows that his love will be good enough for the poetry. It is quite unique on the part of John Donne that he has handled the subject of love so intelligently and in a manner which was perhaps never thought of by the poets before him, or the contemporary poets. Through this poem the speaker wants his love to be canonized. In the Eastern world there are stories of the love affair of Layla and Majnun, Shairi and Fahad, and many like them. Even today people go to their tombs and ask for their blessings. In the Western world there is no such example in the ancient history, though there were great love affairs too. In the concluding part of the poem, the speaker says that their love will be canonized and the lovers will invoke them and they will beg for the pattern of their love. This idea is highly remarkable. As to the handling of the subject of the poem, the poem clearly suggests that the speaker's love affair was not approved by the people. And that is why the speaker tells through the lines in the poem that if the love affair is impossible in the real world, it can become eternal through poetry. The speaker and his beloved will become the saints of love. In the first stanza of the poem, The speaker informs about his situation and he presents the details of his relationship to the world of politics, wealth, and nobility. The speaker assumes that the addressee is only bothered about these things and he has no time for love. The speaker wants to be left alone with his beloved. The second stanza of the poem parodies the notions of love which were prevalent in the contemporary society. The speaker mocks the addressee and talks about his sighs, his colds, and the heat in veins, and says that his personal physical condition has not harmed the world in any way. His sighs have not drowned ships, his tears have not flooded the land, and his body temperature has not caused the change of seasons. He wants the others to do their respective works, but he wants to be left alone with his beloved. In this way, the speaker mocks the works which are conducted by people in the everyday world. The third stanza describes the intensity and uniqueness of the speaker's love through the metaphors which the poet has used so precisely. The speaker says that he and his beloved are like candles and they burn themselves to live. He is ready to be called a fly, and then he compares the lovers to the phoenix. He says that he and his beloved will die and again rise like phoenix. The fourth stanza of the poem reveals what the speaker has in his mind. He knows that big tombs will not be erected in their memory, and they will not be idolized. But he says that by making their place in poetry, the lovers will be canonized. He is fully aware that the people will never allow their tombs to be erected. He is happy that they will be raised to the sainthood through the poetry. In the concluding part of the poem, the speaker declares that the lovers will invoke them and people will beg for the patin of their love. The poem seems to be giving vent to the pent-up emotion which the speaker had stored in his heart. He is not ready to be a part of the society which lives according to the traditional values and the ideas of love. On the other hand, if we think philosophically, we can easily say that love stands above any other thing in this world.